Hi, it's Pastor Andy, and I'm talking to you from the church, and it's a Saturday morning, so as you might suspect, the church is a little empty. But as I turn around here, you will see that, yes, indeed, the pews are empty as they would normally, not necessarily should be, but as they normally are on a Saturday, but they will be empty tomorrow. Obviously, we made that decision earlier this week and made that announcement accordingly. We will reevaluate that decision on April the 1st and make a decision for that coming Sunday. We suspect that we will continue to suspend our services, but we just want to do that a couple of weeks at a time at this point. 2 Samuel 24 talks about when King David sinned by taking a census, and the Lord sent pestilence upon the land, but he relented. And David said, let me fall into the hands of the Lord that he might relent, but let me not fall into the hands of man. And God relented, and the day was saved. People were spared. That may happen in our time as well. So we just want to go two weeks at a time at this point. And if it warrants that we go for 4, 6, 8 or more weeks, then we will adapt to that as we go. But as you can see, the church building is still here. The lights, the ceiling, it's all in place. Everything is fine from that perspective. And while it may be very helpful, and I believe it is helpful for us to know that the church is still standing, what's more important is that we know that God is on his throne. God is in control. And, that may sound a bit cliche, but it is absolutely true. And again, David recognized that when in the midst of his sin. We need to recognize that in the midst of our fear. And as I mentioned last week, I do not believe that fear is sin. Fear is a natural response to the circumstances around us. But fear is real, but it need not rule. And so that is the mantra that we can go by right now, because Jesus is our hope. And that'll be a part of my message tomorrow. Now, as I stand here in the sanctuary, I am in a short sleeve shirt and I am cold. We have taken the heat down to about 55 degrees in this building and in the other building, just to spare the energy, but to save on our electric bill and our gas bill and all of that kind of stuff as well. And that's a reminder, a reality that the church does still have bills to pay. We have some commitments that we have to pay. And so one of the things that I will mention is that please continue to give during this time. We know that this is a time of concern where we don't know what the economic situation will be long term. I believe there will be many challenges in the short and midterm, and perhaps even the long term. But just as we saw how rapidly and the longevity of a recovery after World War II, one of the most significant events in world history, that will happen again. People will be put back to work quickly, because once this ends, people are going to want to go out to eat. They're going to want to get outside. They're going to want entertainment. They're going to go to movies. They're going to go to parks. They're going to go listen to music. They're going to do all the things that we've been doing as soon as they possibly can, or I'll include me in that. And that will mean people will go back to work quickly, and the money will begin to flow again, and the economy will recover. And again, that may be weeks or months or even longer from now. We don't know. But when that happens, things should move back towards a new normalcy, whatever that normalcy might be. So again, we do ask that you give. If you do send money to the church, what I would ask you to do is just make that, address your envelope to the church and put it on the attention line, attention financial secretary. If it has any envelope that has that information on it, will not be opened by anybody but the financial secretary. That way, any giving remains anonymous, as we always try to treat that between at least the financial secretary and the other counters that are involved. So you can mail that to P.O. Box 350 here in Fairfax, Missouri, 64446 if you wish to do that. But again, I realize that we all are in a state of uncertain times, and so this video is, again, to partly show that there is some normalcy in the building. I am not going to be preaching. My original intent was to preach from where I normally preach, as you can see behind me. That was the goal. But in some research and some things that I've uncovered, one of the things that we need to do is provide some stability, and that's why I'm recording this from the church, but to not treat everything as if it is normal. Because things are not normal right now. And so if I were to stand at the stand behind me with my Bible and my tablet as I normally do on a Sunday morning and preach and act like everything is normal, everybody knows that's fake. So is that a lie? Well, maybe a lie is too much of a stretch. But so I will be recording a sermon. It will be up tomorrow and available. It will be on YouTube, on the church's YouTube page. It will also be on the church's Facebook page. And by having that already pre-recorded, I will be watching along with you. And if you put in comments along the way, then I will be able to respond to those comments. And if you don't, that's fine too. But we've had a great response to the message that we posted last week on Facebook. I don't remember how many. I know the last I looked earlier in the week, it was 500 and some odd views. I want to say it was over 800, but I can't remember if that was something else I was looking at. The Wednesday night Q&A that we did this last Wednesday was had over 150 views, and obviously both of those are well more than what our church attendance would normally be. And so, as I mentioned before, this is an opportunity. People are looking for hope. People are looking for stability, and there is nothing more stable than God. That is why our current series before this whole thing started was called Constant in a World of Change, because God is our constant in a world of change, and we've never experienced change like we've experienced in the last couple of weeks on a worldwide scale. And so I will be continuing, and I will talk about the hope that the ascension brings us, and knowing that Jesus is in heaven has a greater impact on our thought processes than maybe we think it should. So I will be recording that from our studio, our new room in the house that the church helped to piece together. We paid for it, but the church helped with labor and approve that because it is the parsonage, and so that's a wonderful option to have. And there will be a bunch of videos that will be posted about our church and our GPS, our God's Path for Servant, with our vision, our mission, our strategy, and our steps, as we always talk about. But now we have videos, and some of those you've seen here at the church the past couple of months, but now all of those have been finished, and those will be up online within a couple of days, if not by tomorrow. So if you have questions about our church and what our church believes and how we approach various aspects, those videos will be helpful. That'll be on our YouTube channel, Fairfax Baptist Church. This coming Wednesday night, we will have another Q&A session on Facebook Live. And that will be at 6:30 p.m., 6:30 to 7:30. We went a little bit longer this last week just because there were several people, and there was some good interaction. Of course, I'll chase holy rabbits, and I did that, which allowed me to expand the thought processes a little bit and go a little bit longer than I had intended. Sorry about that. I had a little distraction there, but. The final thing I do want to say as I look through my note here, over the next several weeks, I've asked the deacons of the church to contact those who are members and or regular attenders of our church to call you each week and to see how you're doing. And I will be doing that as well. I'm going to call each deacon each week, and then to get any feedback that they have from our membership. But I will also be calling members each week. And so over the next 3 to 4 weeks, I plan on touching base with each member or regular attendee of our church. But the deacon should be contacting you each week. And so if you have any questions, if you have any needs, this is a great opportunity to say so. This is still an opportunity to minister. We can minister to one another. Maybe you don't feel like getting out. Maybe you can't get out. We don't know what a lockdown might happen or if that will happen for certain in Missouri. But if you need something at the store, if you need anything like that, let us know. And as long as we're healthy, we will go and we will do. We still have an opportunity to minister to one another during this time, and so let us take that opportunity as best we can. So again, the deacons will be calling, and I will be calling over these next several weeks as well. And then Susan and I, a week from tomorrow, this is being recorded on Saturday the 21st. So on Sunday the 29th, again, there will be a message posted that morning. But Susan and I, Lord willing, if we are healthy, which I hope to be, we will be taking around your April devotionals. Those have already arrived here at the church, and we will bring those around since you're not able to come to church to pick those up. The various things that we get from Lifeway and otherwise. So if we will make sure that you have those in time for April, and if this lasts into May, we will do the same thing at the end of April once again. So again, as you can see behind me, the church is still standing. All is good. The fan is running as I catch that in the shot. But it is cold in the church. It's about 55 degrees in here. And so, again, I'm not going to be doing the message from here. But I wanted to let you know that the church is still standing, but more importantly, God is on the throne. And as we move together, fear is real. It need not rule. And we can have hope. We can find that constant in God. And so that is where our hope needs to lie. That is the only hope that we truly have, and others need to know of that hope as well. So find opportunities to share that hope. Find opportunities to give a reason for the hope that you have, as Peter writes in his letter, because people need that hope, including you and including me, and we have that hope in Jesus. So I will hope to see you, or at least have you see me in the message for tomorrow, and then again on Wednesday night in the live session, the Q&A on Facebook Live on the church's page, Fairfax Baptist Church. Have a great week, even in the midst of all that is going on around us.